Good evening. This is Joe from the JoeDWhiteTalks Radio Program, and I've got Joe Radichell.
Hey everyone, how are you doing? All right, this is RiotRadioRocks.com, the Joe D. White Talk Show.
Awesome, great.
Yeah. He's tired.
Yeah, we're so excited. Because tonight we're gonna do a few topics. We just came back from Comic-Con last weekend. And what we're going to also talk about is some exciting things like Game of Thrones mid-season review, Apocalypse, a lot of stuff that we're trying to cram in tonight's show. So what we're going to start off with is a video game song done by
Jackie Rose.
Jackie Rose. It's the video game song, so take it away.
Respawn.
Game over.
Cool.
Oh, wow. Okay. I was just blown away by that music. Thank you so much, Joe, for that recommendation.
I found that on accident. I was going through YouTube and I ended up in somehow talking to Giraffe's Tutorials.
That was awesome. That was awesome.
Yeah, it was. So we came back from Comic-Con last Friday. What was it?
It was Saturday.
It was Saturday. My brain is going mush. Okay. I just didn't know what to wear for Comic-Con because usually you dress up as somebody. So I decided, well, I got my army boots with me, so maybe I just be Mario. So I had to drive around Thursday like at a frantic pace just to get all the stuff for the costume that I'll be wearing, and it was so hot. It felt like what was it? 106 degrees out?
On that Saturday?
No, not on the Saturday, on the Thursday before.
Oh, the Thursday was like 105, yeah.
Yeah, it was like 105. I pushed on the accelerator and my car took a breath. I'm serious. It's like I pushed on the car, it went brrr, and I'm like, okay. And then
it's like it's like watching someone try to run 2 miles.
Exactly. I get all the stuff put together, and we go to the Comic-Con event. I think it was like $15 at the door just to get in.
It was $15 regardless. I mean, I pre-ordered a ticket, so I really didn't have to wait in line.
Yeah, me too. I mean, the line wasn't really that bad once I got there.
By the time you got there, half the people had gone in and gotten out. I was like, okay.
Well, yeah.
More for me.
What was the disappointing part was it was just too small. It was like...
You wanted to see more out of it because it was in a building that could have been like made it a lot larger.
Right.
But I just don't think they had enough vendors to sponsor it. Mm-hmm. So that's why it was so small.
Yeah, you could say that. I don't know. There were a lot of independent artists there.
There were.
Right, and the fabulous George Perez was there. One story I wanted to tell you about was the story. When you go to George Perez, you're almost not even guaranteed a spot because everybody wants to see him.
What was it? Was it like 200 tickets available?
There were 200 tickets available, and by the time I got there to get a ticket, it was $192.
Yeah, I was gonna go get one for my little sister, but they were already out, and I was like, okay, well, we missed.
Oh, it's a. And so he was taking in tickets like left and right. At first, it was kind of slow moving through the line.
Yeah.
But by the time at the end, he was like, "Okay, here you go, here you go, here you go." People were like bringing in like a few comics here and there from him to sign, and then asking for his signatures and his drawings or whatnot because he was charging $40 for a drawing of a character.
Right.
So I have 192. I'm finally like almost there, but his rule is like the next person, if it's an earlier ticket, you get in front of the line. You get priority.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, and what do you know? This guy had like ticket 133.
So that's like 61 ahead of you.
Yeah, exactly. So he got ahead of me, and he had this Ghostbusters outfit, and
I know who you're
cool.
talking about. I saw him.
Yeah, exactly. And he came in and said, well, okay, I want this drawing of Loki. So George Perez said, okay, let's do this drawing of Loki. And he finishes the drawing, and the guy doesn't have enough money to pay him. Well, the drawing is only $40. I mean, that's...
Did he have like a bag full of stuff like on his back or something, or did he not even have anything?
No, I didn't see anything. That was weird. He only had $14 on him.
It was probably to get in for the ticket.
I guess. I don't know. He said...
His mom said your allowance has been cut short. You didn't do your jobs right.
Exactly. He claims that nobody told him that drawings cost this amount of money.
Well, it's Comic-Con, and it's George Perez. George Perez isn't someone you sneeze at when it comes to comic book drawings. You go to Comic-Con, you expect to buy things. Everything is going to cost you something.
Right. He assumed that the drawing was going to be free. So, like, people were going in ahead in line saying, okay, I'll pay for this. And George Perez said, no. I'll take the $14. You go ahead and go. Because I was like standing there going, can I please have a drawing, please? But eventually I got this beautiful drawing of Wonder Woman, and it was like the last sheet on the pad.
So he just gave you the pad?
He just gave me the whole pad. It's like crazy. And there was another drawer that was there. He was like an independent person, and he said that, dude, your costume matches almost exactly what I envisioned in this drawing.
The Mario one?
The Mario one, yeah.
You do look pretty close to it. If later on we should put a picture up on the page with your costume next to the Mario picture.
He has a picture. He took a picture of me next to the photograph. and he put it on his Instagram. I'm gonna try to find it.
All right.
And then there was another guy that does an independent. Like seriously, I have all this stuff here.
Radichell Rain. Yeah, I have a sticker
Rain.
from that.
Yeah.
My sister liked it a lot.
I loved it a lot, and a lot of these independent artists said they would come on the show too, which I thought it was pretty cool. But I mean, not a lot. I mean, it was really kind of, I don't know, a little disappointing and uneventful.
It was kind of more of a miscellaneous Comic-Con than
Right.
Wizard World was, where Wizard World is like a full-out, big-name people are showing up.
Right, like David Tennant and...
Yeah, the guy who voices Master Chief and the woman who voiced Cortana and Princess Peach was there.
Oh, wow.
So I missed out on that. I missed them by like half an hour on that Friday night. I was really mad.
There's another Comic-Con that I was told that's supposed to be in Columbia in September.
I know there's DodecaCon coming on.
DodecaCon.
They also have a Dodeca Gaming.
Oh, okay.
So I'm looking into that. I really wanted to do that. There was also Extra Life, which is a charity where you play video games, and the
Yes.
longer you play video games and the more viewers you have, the more they'll donate for you.
Right.
And so if anyone's interested in doing that, go to it. It's extralife.com.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cool. I've done it. I'm going to keep doing it.
I'm thinking about doing that too.
Speaking of games, while we're on games, I'm just going to say this right now.
Okay.
Pokemon Go.
Yes.
Nintendo has finally given us a release date for Pokemon Go. It is next July. This coming up July. We don't know when, just coming up. Betas are over, and for the Generation 1 players, you're gonna be real happy because right now it's only the starters and all the Pokemon from Red and Blue.
Great. I just to be honest, I've never played Pokemon. I mean, when Pokemon was really big, I think I was in my 20s, and I was thinking more lines of World of Warcraft and other stuff. But I mean, maybe I should get into it. I don't know.
I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, they're coming up with a new one. Like, each region is based on something real.
Mm-hmm.
So this new one's based on, like, Hawaii. The last one was based on France.
Interesting. Okay. Now, also, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about, was it Apocalypse?
X-Men Apocalypse.
X-Men
Yes.
Apocalypse. So what did you think about this movie?
I, for one, really liked it, but I hated the fact that after the movie, I had to explain to my little brother what happened.
Right.
I think with the Days of Future Past, with that release, they kind of just rewrote everything to the X-Men universe. So the first few original movies that we had to it, like, ceased to exist in this world.
I think, yeah, I completely agree. I think they are now focused on a different universe completely altogether than what they originally started out with, except they brought in Hugh Jackman into the mix.
See, yeah, this was their one chance to, like, the Days of Future Past should have been their last usage of Hugh Jackman.
Right.
I don't know if he listens, I'm sorry, but I have to say this. He's getting kind of old, so watching Wolverine age backwards throughout the X-Men franchise is just going to get really awkward after a while.
Right.
So, with the Days of Future Past, that would have been perfect because he's got all those memories, he's got all the experience, just not everything has happened to him yet.
They could have done a little bit CGI.
Made him look younger?
Made him look younger, exactly. Kind of like the Brad Pitt, Benjamin Button
kind of situation, yeah.
Kind of situation, yeah, exactly. But I don't know.
I think it was a perfect opportunity to cast a whole new actor.
Yes.
And they kind of just blew it.
Yeah.
But I think they gave it to us for nostalgia's sake. Because this might actually be his last X-Men, I think.
I think so. I think it was confirmed that it's his last. What do you think about Oscar Isaac? I in my opinion, I think he did it very well, considering the opposition that he had, because he was too short. They had to wear like
Stilts?
platform shoes.
No, I remember reading about that. You had to wear like platform shoes with stilts inside them or something.
Yeah.
Just to make him look taller. I think he actually did really good because if you watch, you can't even tell. Like, you have to look really closely to even like see a slight wobble, but you don't see it at all, really.
No, you don't. And I, in my opinion, I didn't see anything in resemblance to Oscar Isaac. I saw Apocalypse.
Yeah, you see a whole new person. It's not even the real person. That's what's awesome about CGI and makeup.
And and in my opinion, it just went a little bit religious. And in what he was saying, he was referring to the little mutants as his children, and
right.
Yeah, it was kind of like Jesus.
Right. I think that's what they were kind of trying to go for, because if you saw the end credits scene for, like, when they were going to announce it,
right,
they were worshiping him as a god, as he, rearranged the pyramid and made it so it would suit his purposes.
Right.
I liked the backstory behind Scott, and Jean Grey, because they never really emphasized that in the original franchise.
No, they didn't.
But the fact that Alex Summers and Scott Summers now had something in common for a short while.
Yeah.
But it also gives a good, jump into their relationship, instead of with the first X-Men, Wolverine appears and Scott's threatening Wolverine almost off the bat.
Right. You don't really know the backstory why Scott was so overprotective Jean. Yeah. I'm trying to think of other materials.
Power Rangers.
Power Rangers, yes. Elizabeth Banks is the Rita Repulsa of Power Rangers. I'm trying to think how she's gonna blow this off or take this off into a new level. I wish I could see some kind of clip of her just performing, because the original Rita Repulsa,
the crazy long nails, weird looking hairdo, Rita Repulsa.
Yeah, the annoying grating voice.
The weird spells and incantations.
Mm-hmm, exactly. And she kind of looks like a conglomeration of all the different villains in Power Rangers, in my opinion. Like the Green Ranger, and then trying to think of that other villain that starred in Power Rangers.
I know his name started with a Z, didn't it? He was chrome exoskeleton. You could see his brain.
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about, but I can't remember his name.
Right. But she looks terrific.
She does.
But I don't see any acting to form an actual opinion.
Right.
But
I'm excited for Zordon. That's for sure.
Me too. As Walter White, Breaking Bad as Zordon.
Yeah. IGN put something up on their Snapchat. I showed you this at dinner.
Yes, you did.
It was the Power Rangers were trying to give Zordon some sword, but instead of Zordon, they video shopped a quote from Walter White into it, and then they showed the camera on the Power Rangers, and they look kind of confused and shocked.
What in the world is this guy?
Do you know how much money I make a year? Even if I told you, you wouldn't believe me.
Okay, let's move on to Game of Thrones. Mid-season review. So episode 1, we had this really shocker ending, kind of like a grandma,
right?
The naked grandma situation.
Just censor that out.
Yeah, exactly. We had to erase that from our brains.
Thanks for bringing that back.
I'm sorry. So, just as a refresher, Melisandre, the Lord of Light, she is what we thought was the bae of the whole entire show, because she just takes off her clothes left and right. And then she, at the end of the episode 1, she just took off her clothes and then took off her choker, and we found out that she was using glamour magic to make herself look younger, and she's like 100-year-old bag lady.
Surprise! I feel like that at that point in the movie, in the show, they should have taken that clip from Nacho Libre, where his sidekick walks up with him with the cord and goes, "Surprise!" That would have been perfect.
Oh my good lord. And then at the end, okay, so we go into episode 2, and then Jon Snow comes back from the dead, which everybody wanted. I mean, really.
I think everyone also kind of saw that coming, because it's a world of magic. Like, almost anything's possible. I've
Right.
read enough fantasy and science fiction books to see people get killed 2 books earlier and then come back like at the last minute to change the whole landscape.
Yeah, but what really drove me so mad, I don't know if you read the books.
I haven't.
You haven't. Okay. Caitlin Stark, the House Stark.
Mm-hmm.
She's supposed to come back in the books.
Okay.
And she's this angry, like a angry kind of zombie kind of like person. She still has her throat slit.
Like the White Walkers almost?
Almost like the White Walkers. She was resurrected by the Lord of Light.
Okay.
Kind of like how Jon Snow was. But her body's still mutilated. She's got like her whole entire throat is slit, so she has to close her throat just to talk. She kind of looks like a zombie.
Someone get a needle and thread. We can fix that pretty quickly.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't think
it works that way.
Don't think it worked that way. No. She would be, what's that? Not Edward Scissorhands, but that girl from Nightmare Before Christmas.
I know who you're talking about. Jack Skellington's.
Jack Skellington's girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah, the love interest of the movie. But they did not resurrect Caitlin Stark, and I was so mad because she was so integral with the other parts of the storylines. So they kind of like did not resurrect Caitlin Stark, and they had other forces at play to kill. I think it was not Ramsay Bolton, but the other king.
Okay.
The crazy king, the one that Melisandre and he were boinking.
See, I didn't get to see this last episode, but I heard it was the most expensive episode of all time for the Game of Thrones franchise.
Yes, it was, because they had to make it so realistic. They had like several wars. They at the end of the episode, they had like a making of the episode, and they looked at different war movies. And they saw that all these war movies didn't exactly portray what was on the ground.
Right.
But they had so many extras. They had so many props, and I would agree that it was a very expensive episode to shoot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But what did you think about Arya Stark?
Arya Stark. I saw something the other day about that. It was actually pretty funny. It was like comparing her to Batman, because she was born in a rich household. Her parents were killed. She was orphaned.
Right.
And then she like joined a group of assassins and was trained. It was like one of the best. And then she realized she hated their ideals and like fled and went on to do her own vigilante thing.
That's a great comparison. Oh wow. I'd never thought of it that way, because she's
too young and she's an opposite gender, and so you would think that she's like this little weak girl, when in reality, like the minute you turn around, she's gonna slit your throat.
She's got needle on her.
Right.
And needles. Needle's pretty sharp. But I don't know if you've seen this part of the episode where Miss Stark tries to by the wave chase her around, and she gets stabbed in the belly like multiple times, and she survives that.
Yeah, she pulled a Batman. Did you read the comic issue where Batman was like drugged, put underground, like in his parents' coffins, deprived of sleep for about like 48 hours, and he punched his way out of a coffin buried 6 feet under?
He's like Chuck Norris.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, so it's confirmed. Chuck Norris, Batman, and Arya are all the same person.
Wow. Or they're just reincarnated incarnations of each other.
Chuck Norris's soul was too big, so they had to put it in 2 other people.
They had to split it. Kind of like Harry Potter. And
I was going to go with that.
Yeah. So, on this subject of Arya Stark, I was gonna go with she was stabbed in the multiple times in the stomach and she survived it. That was just kind of odd to me that she would survive multiple stab
She's
wounds
tough,
in the stomach.
man. She's seen a lot for her age.
Well, yeah, she's seen a lot.
But she's also been through a lot. So after a while, you kind of have to expect her to just, not feel pain, not really care about anyone else anymore.
Yeah, I understand that, but still, she had an epic blood. She had lost a lot of blood. Her stomach had multiple stab wounds, and she was like walking or dragging herself through the marketplace. I don't know. It just doesn't seem weird. I don't know. It just seems like so many
In Westeros,
characters.
if someone's dragging themselves across the concrete marketplace with blood everywhere, there's like, it's everything. That happens every day. Who cares?
Yeah. Okay. Well, whatever. Miss Targaryen, the Christina Aguilera of the whole entire show.
Right. Me and the guys at work, while we're at lunch, we actually had a full-out conversation about this. Because people say that she's the last Targaryen, but other guys at work say otherwise. I'm sure you've heard the Jon Snow and the Tyrion Lannister theories about them being Targaryen.
I've heard about the theory that Jon Snow is not.
He's not a Stark.
He's not a Stark at all. He's a Targaryen.
That's what I've been hearing too.
Yeah, I've heard those theories as well, and it could be possible. He I think he learns about his fate or what his lineage is at the last episode of this season.
Right. I heard Khal Drogo is making a huge comeback within this season or the next.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
How?
He's supposed to play a part with Miss Targaryen.
How?
Well, she's gone back to get the Dothraki.
Right.
And he was a Khal of the Dothraki. So we have some like sixth sense going on at work, and we're like, all right, he's gonna play a part in this somehow. We don't know how, but somehow. And it's kind of like when you go through a video game or you're reading a comic book and they give like a flashback of something that happened to him before they met, or it's like how they met type of thing. Or if you're playing a video game, you'll find letters of all the events that have been going on from like the character's father or something. So they're thinking that it could pull, like they might find like a log of his or some distant relative that knew everything about him.
Interesting. I mean, but how are they going to bring Jason Momoa back into the show? Because he's right now filming with the Justice League.
That's true. He is doing that with the Justice League, but no one ever said it had to be him. Like, no one ever said that he himself had to show up. Like I said, it could have been like some distant relative telling him, yeah, this is how this happened, and he was a kid when it happened.
Oh.
So it could be Khal Drogo's origin story.
That would be interesting.
But I also like the Tyrion Lannister theory, because you saw the episode where he walked into the dragon's den, right?
Yes.
So he's done a lot of research on dragons and the Targaryens, and we think he's just playing it off that he might be Targaryen, but he just knows enough to seem like one.
No, I think he's a Lannister.
That's what we're saying. He's a Lannister, but he knows enough to act like a Targaryen.
Right. That's a good, interesting theory. Yeah, okay. Now, the whole entire premise of Game of Thrones, the Song of Ice and Fire, there's a whole entire discussion about what the Song of Ice and Fire really meant. Was it the Miss Targaryen, Daenerys Targaryen, against the White Walkers?
I have a feeling that the White Walkers are somehow going to represent the ice of this, because even though Miss Targaryen has the dragons and the dragons breathe fire and everything, you can't really always put dragons in the place of fire.
But I think she does represent fire, in my opinion, because she's got a fiery attitude. She's got, she's immune to fire. So
True.
so you would think that she would be the fire element in the whole entire series.
Right.
It could play out. I don't know what again, seventh
It's
season.
going to be
is
Jon
gonna be
Snow. Watch this.
It's probably going to be Jon Snow.
I mean, he gets
Who
killed and
knows?
brought back to life. Whoop-de-doo.
Yeah, and he's brought back from the Lord of Light.
And he only intervenes when there's, like, crap to go down.
Exactly. He's like the what is that guy?
He's like the Guardians of Oa, except for
Right.
the Game of Thrones series.
He's like the ball guy that Mr. Clean of the whole entire show, because he has to clean up everybody's messes. I don't know, but
Even
he's-
Clorox isn't strong enough for this bloodstain, kid.
exactly. I was wanting to know how is he gonna clean up all the mess from the latest episode. That
Right.
was just so funny. Yeah, okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to our mid-break. We got from the X-Men Apocalypse soundtrack, Eurythmics, Sweet Dreams Are Made of This. From the soundtrack of X-Men Apocalypse, Sweet Dreams Are Made of This. When I was a kid, I loved watching MTV. And MTV was like just a beginning. It was like a little baby.
You mean back when it had music on it?
Yeah, back when it had music on it. And I watched the music video for this song religiously. It was the best.
He woke up at 2 o'clock every Saturday morning just to watch it.
Because you had I can't remember what her Annie Lennox's sidekick was. They were married. I can't remember his name, but he was on the boat with the violin, and she had the red spiky hair.
That was a thing, man. That was like the weirdest thing. Like, I go back sometimes and I watch those old music videos for no reason, just because, like, I see it, I'm like, oh, I want to see what this music video looked like, and I'm like, what is this? How was this a thing?
Oh, you gotta watch the Oingo Boingo's Weird Science video.
I think I've heard it. I don't want to see it though. The title.
Have you seen the movie?
No,
You've never seen Weird Science before?
dude, I'm 19.
I don't care. You need to watch it. That's your homework. You need to watch Weird Science. Don't tell mom the babysitter's dead. And
I've seen that one.
I'm right on top of that, Rose. That was my favorite line from that movie.
Nice. Dave Stewart, I think, is the guy you're looking for.
Dave Stewart, yes. He was, yeah. Why did I forget Dave Stewart's name?
Because it's Dave Stewart.
Who's that?
I mean, I forget my name sometimes. I wake up in the morning and I look at myself and I say, "Who are you?"
Okay, that's interesting. So we're gonna delve into news. The news you can use. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, so I've got some interesting news. James Earl Jones was confirmed as a voice of Darth Vader in Rogue One, a Star Wars story. I can't wait.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Well, I don't have a lack of faith. I'm excited for this one because
Who isn't excited? It's James Earl Jones.
it's
Darth Vader.
it's James Earl Jones. It's like the epic voice of all voices in
in the Star Wars
geekdom.
world.
Yeah, exactly. And I remember when I was a little kid, I saw it in the movie theaters. Not when it came out. It came out in...
The first three came out before I was born,
Well, I'm 38.
and I'm 19.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm like, you're half the age I am. So, it actually was... the Star Wars was released before I was born, but it was a limited theater release. I think it was released in July of 1977. And then... due to the more success than it got, it was started to slowly release in more theaters, and then it just blew up.
Right.
When I was a kid, you remember the bar scene?
And where Luke is talking to that
we're
one guy. He's
yeah.
like, I have the death penalty in 12 systems. He doesn't
Exactly.
like you. I don't
Yeah.
like you either.
Yeah, and one alien was threatening Luke Skywalker, and he gets his arm chopped off.
Brutal.
Brutal. That scared the holy bejesus out of me when I first saw it.
It caught me by surprise, but then after a while, I was like, I mean, you did threaten the kid. And all he did was stand there.
Exactly.
So, I mean, maybe you kind of deserve to lose an arm.
So, what would be your predictions for Star Wars story, the Rogue One?
The Rogue One, from what I've heard, it's a backstory
Right.
It's kind of in between 6 and 7.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, it's at the beginning. It's near 3 and 4, I think. And they're the rebels are basically sending a spy in, is what I know.
Mm-hmm.
And so like she becomes like an Imperial officer and one of the high ups. I'm just gonna go call it out right now. I think she's gonna die at the end.
Oh, that poor little girl. That's not good at all.
That's just what I'm saying.
Okay. In other news, Snyder hints at the return of the super mullet in Justice League. You remember in the 80s that Batman... Oh, you probably don't remember that either. Batman had a mullet.
I do remember that, actually. I read those.
Yeah, he's going to get back the mullet.
That's going to be great. But they should do, like, out of just pure comedy in one issue. Like, they don't even announce it. They should just make one issue where everybody has a mullet. And a Hulk Hogan mustache.
I cannot see Gal Gadot with a mullet and a mustache.
I can see everything. I can see hilarity.
That's just so wrong.
But, like, it would be one of those limited edition ones where they only print, like, 200 of them, and you're lucky if you got one. And it becomes, like, uber valuable because it's being made fun of.
You know what? I'm just having all these weird ideas going through my head, like unshaved armpits and...
Wonder Woman lifts up her arms.
Boom! Boom!
Oh, my.
Oh, my. And, what was that? Doomsday, like, falls over because she doesn't have deodorant.
Darkseid passes out. Lex Luthor has hair. And everyone's like, who is he? He looks so familiar. And then Superman's like, it's over, Lex. Oh, well, it took us the whole series.
Yeah. So, back to Game of Thrones and George R.R. Martin.
He's killing everybody this year, man. 2016 has been written by George R.R. Martin with a death note.
Okay, so him and Stephen King had a fireside chat. And George R.R. Martin is notorious for being a slow writer.
Killing everybody.
Well, yeah, he's killing everybody, but he's also killing his DOS computer. You know that he writes all his books on a
DOS
1980s DOS computer.
I do, and like it's really irritating to know this, considering all this awesome tech that we have today. I think he doesn't like. I don't think he likes the spell check on it.
It's like, dude, I'll buy you a Mac.
You don't even need to buy it yourself. You can put something on GoFundMe and you'll be done in like half a minute. I guarantee you.
Seriously, this dude goes to so many Comic Cons and he makes so much.
Do you think he carries a typewriter
sales with
him in one of his bags?
No, he probably carries his DOS computer.
That's a lot to lug around, though.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. And it worries me. But he and Stephen King had a fireside chat, and he's like, dude, how do you write so much? I'm like,
he doesn't use DOS?
He doesn't use DOS?
Wait, there's something past DOS? I must learn more, tell me.
There's Windows 95, Windows 3.1, Windows
use
95.
XP or Vista. Those are better than DOS.
Oh my god. Windows ME. That's better than DOS. Except, you got the blue screen of death every 5 seconds.
Everything that you save doesn't save. I learned that one firsthand.
Exactly. And I don't even want to go through the Mac OS 10 history. That's too much to bear at this point.
Microsoft Word, man, has like a life-saving file recovery in it.
Yes.
I saw that the other day, and I'm like, this could have changed everything for me in high school.
Yeah, it changed.
Instead of me having to, like, basically mess up a whole great paper and write it in 10 minutes, I could have gotten everything I worked on in, like, 2 weeks.
Okay, when I was in high school, the only thing I had access to was a DOS computer or a typewriter. But that was in 1995.
That was, like, the year before I was born.
You were just a distant memory.
I wasn't even thought of yet.
Damn. Oh, okay. So, what news did you want to talk about?
I know we're getting a new Ghost Rider soon. Norman Reedus, the guy that plays Daryl Dixon from The Walking Dead, has been confirmed as our next Ghost Rider, and I think it's going to suit him perfectly. They're going to give us a Walking Dead Easter egg in the movie, so his vest is going to be his Daryl Dixon vest.
I can't wait. That's like a happy, joy moment. Because I love Walking Dead. Have you seen Walking Dead?
I have. I'm up on date.
You're all up to date. I'm not up to date.
I already know who Negan's killed.
Don't tell me.
I read the comics.
Don't tell me.
Spoiler.
Okay. Okay. With the comics, I have only read like issue number 20 or 30 or something like that.
If you go, there's a place called the Fantasy Shop. Check them out. They have the compendiums. So it's basically volume 1, volume 2, and volume 3. It's everything.
But dude, that's like $80 each.
But dude, it's all of The Walking Dead.
But dude, I don't have that much money. It's like I got bills. I got all other stuff. You're 19. I'm 38. I have yet to pay off my car. So once you're up to me, you'll understand the bills and all the other stuff. So it's like if I splash down like $90 for something that has to be really, really, really important. But
I don't know. I think Walking Dead's pretty important.
Walking Dead is pretty important. But I'm
excited. I can't wait for season 7.
I can't wait for season 7 as well. But Daryl story that just was,
heart-wrenching.
Heart-wrenching because you didn't even know what happened for at least 2 episodes, and he's like, oh my God, Daryl's dead.
See, that's what we wanted to see was. Like, we wanted to see Daryl that whole time. We wanted all Daryl.
Yes, all Daryl.
Norman Reedus is in the market. If Norman Reedus as a person had a stock, it would be higher than the NASDAQ.
Norman Reedus is also in the market. What about the guy that plays my memory sucks tonight. The main character.
Rick
Grimes, yes.
Can't remember his name.
Well, he's an English actor.
Yeah, I know that.
But I would think he'll be more in demand.
I really think so. Especially now that Carl's lost his eye. This is where things take a turn. In the comics, this is where things normally would take a turn for them.
Right.
And not a good one.
No, not a good one at all.
The Saviors, they're still around, man. They're going to mess some stuff up in this next season. I can already tell. The way that last season ended, it's going to come at you like a spiky baseball bat.
That makes me want to get caught up on that season because I have not been caught up yet. I think I stopped right after Daryl. We found out Daryl's his
backstory.
And not his backstory, but his what actually happened.
Oh, yeah.
The outcome of what happened on top of the garbage can.
That was Glenn.
Oh, duh. See, I mean, my memory sucks still. Glenn, yeah.
No, his buddy killed himself. That was like what, the mid-season finale, right?
The mid-season finale. Yeah, I'm like halfway into that season. So
you better hurry up and catch up, man.
I know. I need.
October's coming quick.
It is coming quick. Absolutely. Do you know what's coming up really quick?
What?
Suicide Squad.
Oh yeah, Will Smith and the new Independence Day,
which Will Smith declined to appear in, which I'm still pissed off about.
I don't know. I think it's good because then it gives a different actor a chance to play with Jeff Goldblum because he's back in it.
When you say play with Jeff Goldblum,
No, what I mean is like they get to act with him. It's not going to be like a Jurassic Park where he's hiding under a bunch of brush covered in blood.
Or Jeff Goldblum, the fly Jeff Goldblum.
That's true. That too.
Yeah, that one was...
That was odd.
That to me was like the most scariest movie that I've seen when I was a kid.
There's so many weird pages on Facebook about Jeff Goldblum. Like, there's one that says it's called the same picture of Jeff Goldblum every single day, and every day at 7 in the morning, you get the same picture of Jeff Goldblum.
The same one?
The same one.
I don't get it.
It's not okay. It's disturbing because it's just the same picture, and it's like that confident. He's holding his chin look
on the couch.
No, he's like got his knee propped up on something, and he's like leaning on his knee. He's got that like business guy look on, and it's creepy.
Wow, that's weird. That's insanely weird. I was going to go on a different tangent about not Jeff Goldblum, but
Will Smith.
Will Smith.
Go for it.
And I forgot about it.
Independence Day and Suicide Squad.
Independence Day and Suicide Squad. Okay, so we got Miss Viola Davis, who is going to star in Suicide Squad as Amanda Waller. A brief backstory: Amanda Waller is like the prison lady,
the warden
of was it Arkham
Asylum?
Arkham Asylum, and there's like this threat that's going on in the world, and she's assigning a task really oddly to
pick out the deadliest people.
Pick out the deadliest people and
for
get
the deadliest mission.
Exactly. So
I'm excited for it.
I'm really excited for it too. I love the adaptation Harley Quinn.
Oh, we saw a cosplayer for that at the Comic-Con.
Yes.
She looked awesome. She had the hair and everything.
She did. She had the hair and everything was so I thought it was actually...
You thought it was the actual actor?
I thought it was the actual actor.
When I went to Wizard World, there was a guy who dressed up as Jack Sparrow and like blew it away. I thought he sounded and looked just like Johnny Depp.
Did you happen to catch the Predator costume?
At MightyCon or Wizard World?
No, this one.
No, I didn't.
There was this. I was gonna go into the costume contest, thinking, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna win the contest." No.
Nope.
No.
Denied.
Denied. Yeah. They costume. This guy came in with this really intricate Predator costume, and he had like the speaker,
the spears and everything.
The spears, yeah, exactly. And he had like a little speaker with him, like a Bluetooth speaker that was going, that was playing the noise,
clicking sounds.
The clicking sounds, yeah, exactly. And oh my God, it was so good. And
there are people, man, that go like full out. There was one for the Wizard World cosplay. My buddy took it. My buddy Rob took it. He and his sisters 3D printed their own Dragon's Age Inquisition armor. Mm-hmm. And Rob is not a small guy. Rob is like 6'7", all bulk type of dude.
Right.
And so he handmade his own chainmail for it, and they won the contest.
Oh my good Lord. Okay. So back to the topic of Suicide Squad. I
heard she wanted to pepper spray Jared Leto.
Okay, yeah. So Jared Leto usually has really quirky gifts that he gives out in his film projects. And it was in this article that I'm reading that Viola Davis wanted to pepper spray Jared Leto.
That's great.
For his gift because...
Ooh, what was it?
It was a box of bullets.
Do I look like a guy with a plan?
Exactly. It was just so weird.
He walks up to her and he goes, I just do things.
Exactly. Oh, wow. Okay, so do you have any other news or anything that you want to talk about? We got like 5 minutes left.
I know I gave away the Skyrim stuff last week.
Mm-hmm.
Fallout 4, their new DLCs are going to be playing back into Fallout 3. So all the events of Fallout 3 are now going to affect your Fallout 4 campaigns and everything. Battlefield 1, the new Battlefield is coming up. If you haven't gotten it already, get the Early Enlisters Deluxe Edition. You get early access along with special weapons for pre-orders only.
Nice. I'm also looking over some important news. Vikings. Have you seen Vikings before?
I've seen one episode. I really want to get into it, but I don't have the time.
Yeah. It's a very interesting series. I think I've gotten to like season 2, and I again, like just like you, I just don't have the time to watch it fully.
Right.
There's like Viking season 4 spoilers.
Good lord. Everyone wants to spoil things for us, man. It is getting annoying. Trolls everywhere.
Can I say the B word on the show?
Yes, please do.
Okay. So Game of Thrones Battle the Bastards is the highest rated TV show.
Took a whole different turn from what you were expecting.
It really did. Either one's fine though.
Yeah.
I'll say both of them. Go ahead.
Yeah. About the Bastards.
Ooh, Green Lantern, the new Green Lantern movie.
Ooh. I hope it doesn't suck like the...
It's not the Ryan Reynolds one. No, they're bringing in like Guy Gardner, Kyle Rayner, Jon Stewart.
Ooh, Jon Stewart? Oh my God.
They might even bring in the controversial lanterns like Simon Baz from this most recent one, the first Lantern series.
They also revealed the reason why they're not bringing in the Flash from the TV show in Justice League.
I don't know, man. I think that would be a pretty good fit.
It did seem a little bit inappropriate to not have to invite this guy.
$10 says though when they get to Supergirl, they're gonna bring in what's her name?
Well, they're gonna bring in Superman.
Well, they're not just gonna bring in Superman. I'm also saying like they're gonna probably bring in the actress that does Supergirl for the TV show. I don't remember her name. I haven't watched the series that much.
Well, they already have Supergirl.
Do they though?
Yes.
Huh.
They already finished season 1.
No, I'm saying they're going to bring her in for the next Justice League movie.
Oh, you mean the actress that's playing Supergirl?
Right.
Right. They already picked who's going to be Superman.
I think they just should keep the Superman they have. I mean, no offense to Ben Affleck, but Ben Affleck and playing Batman and their Alfred pick, that age difference. You could have sworn that Alfred was like Batman's cousin at one point.
Yeah, I mean the age difference was kind of just really odd. But have you seen Teen Wolf before?
Teen Wolf?
Yes,
No.
Teen Wolf. It's the reboot of the comedy series, but from God, what was this Family Ties guy?
Oh.
Michael J. Fox.
Oh, him.
Yes. But they made it kind of like more of a horror TV show. But I'm trying to get this guy's name.
Like the lead character?
Tyler Hoechlin. I don't want to mispronounce your name, Tyler. If you're listening.
If you're listening.
Exactly. And
sorry, Hugh.
But he's been cast as Man of Steel.
That's gonna be
He's
weird.
Superman. No, I think he fits the part pretty well.
All right.
Yeah. I'm trying to get a picture of him.
That's James Earl Jones right there.
I know that's James Earl Jones. Well, that's actually
Darth Vader is
Darth
James
Vader.
Earl.
I'm trying to close different windows because my computer's going slow. My computer's slow.
Are you sure it's not a DOS?
No, it's Mac OS 10. Mac OS 10 doesn't have DOS. It's not DOS related. It's Unix based.
Ew.
Ew.
Yeah. Ew.
Ew for Unix? No, Unix is awesome.
I thought you said Linux. I was like, yeah, ew.
Linux is not ew.
Linux is disgusting.
Linux is not disgusting, man.
We will debate this later.
Okay, we will debate it later.
I mean,
okay.
I can see him. I can see that.
That's like a Clark Kent kind of look.
That's like that should be his alter ego. That's just keep him as Clark Kent permanently. Like nothing else, just Clark Kent, not even Superman.
What are you talking about? He
Get a separate actor that looks like him.
Perfectly. Yeah, that's Superman. That's Superman. Except the beard, you
Right,
just shave it off.
Say,
But
looks
yeah,
like Superman's got a 5
Superman.
o'clock shadow there.
Well, sometimes you had who's that guy? The English dude that plays Superman now.
Oh, him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not a Rick Grimes though, so.
No, he's not Rick Grimes, but he sometimes have a 5 o'clock. Did have a 5 o'clock shadow.
5 o'clock, not 5
o'clock. 5. Okay.
Bales would kill us for talking about that.
Oh, what are you talking about?
Did you not hear what she did to Borden? She like went off on Borden because he said that he liked the Batman versus Superman movie. Like she laid into him good for about 15 minutes.
No, she did that to me.
She did that to him too.
Oh my God. Well, a lot of the stuff that the reasons she said about the movie were flat out wrong, but whatever, that's her opinion.
Is her opinion wrong?
I can't say that her opinion is wrong because she's probably going to call up the hotline and say, ah! But she hasn't. I tried sending her a message and she hasn't responded back. So, whatever. Okay, we are running out of time. This is Joe from the JoeDWhiteTalks Radio Program. You can reach me on Twitter at JoeDWhiteTalks. You can go to my YouTube channel at JoeDWhiteTalks. I have a Facebook page, JoeDWhiteTalks. And
I'm Joe Radichell, and this has been the JoeDWhiteTalks radio show at RiotRadioRocks.com.
Thank you so much for listening, guys. Hope you have a great night. Feel